Hey everybody, welcome to Amy Nolte Music. The last time you saw my kids, they looked like this. They were very silly. They probably are just as silly now, but they look like this. And they've got a lot to say about music. I realized this when we were having dinner the other day, and they were just talking about all of the exciting stuff that they love to listen to. And I thought, while they're almost all home, maybe we can make a video about the future of music according to my kids. So meet my firstborn, Miles, who's 25, secondborn, Ella, 23, thirdborn, Charlie, who's 21 and in New York right now, and Louie, who is 18. If you'd like to watch the extended version of this video in all its glory and silliness, you can do that by signing up for Nebula. More on that later. This is Miles on the left, Ella in the middle, Louie on the right. And they are respectively numbers 1, 2, and 4. We're missing Charlie, who's going to pop in via video in a little bit. He's in New York City right now. All right, I'm going to start with Louie because we never do, and ask him to tell me a little bit about like what's been on your heavy rotation while you listen to music in like the past month or so.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
My on repeat playlist on Spotify.
What does on repeat mean?
Like the songs that are on repeat, the ones that are being played a lot.
John Alpha has the weirdest song, if you guys didn't know.
One song that I've been listening to a lot, and I've been listening to the album, is Paper Bag by Fiona Apple, and the album When the Pawn. I've also been listening to the new Childish Gambino album and the new JPEG Mafia album. I also just like to listen to some soft rock from the 70s.
Name a couple of those.
Like just the songs on here right now that I see. I have American Pie by Don McLean, Listen to the Music by the Doobie Brothers, and Reminiscing by Little River Band.
Those are good. Same question, Ella.
Okay, just listening to my brother, Louie. I heard a lot of things that also I listened to. Like me, I also listen to the Childish Gambino album right now because I'm going to see him in a couple weeks. I listen to, I like the girly pop that's out there right now, the songs of the summer. Like, I love Olivia Rodrigo, the Brat album, the Chapel Roan album. They're all very fun things to be a part of. And then I also like a lot of 60s and 70s rock as well.
Okay, I'll get my phone out too.
Okay.
I like the Brat album. I like Chapel Roan's album. I've been listening to Caroline Polachek. I really liked her song that she made for the I Saw the TV Glow movie that came out a few months ago. Starburned and Unkissed, I think, might be my favorite song that's come out this year so far. What else? Listen to Kid A by Radiohead is always a good one that I listen to. The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, I hadn't listened to that in a couple years, so I started listening to that again. And Daft Punk, Random Access Memories, always listening to that. One more that I found, I guess late last year, but I still listen to it, is Delwater Gap by Delwater Gap. That's a good album too.
Gosh, those are great. That's a lot for me to think about. Actually, you guys said a lot of things that I don't know about. What makes you want to go backward in music and forward in music as you're listening? Is there anything that like in life or your mood that makes you want to go to the past or to the future, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I always, in heavy rotation on my music listening, is like songs that I liked when I was Louie's age, like when I was a senior in high school. That was just like a time when I was able to drive around with my friends, and we just spent a lot of time listening to music in the car, and I feel like they were like formative years. So when I go back, it's not, it's 7 years back, I guess, but I listen to songs from around then, like 2016, 2017, just because I don't know, I feel like when I was that age, it's just something kind of like locked in my brain as like that's the music that I like. So I still end up going back and listening to a lot of that music.
Give me like two important songs from high school.
The Awaken My Love album by Childish Gambino. I don't know if I could pick any song, but that came out when I was a senior. That was really big. And then I guess that summer after my senior year was when the first Brockhampton album came out that was like on repeat all summer. I like Gold Chain on that album. I listen to that one a lot.
I just listen to what I like, pretty much. Yeah, like whatever I put on and it sounds good, that's what I'll listen to, no matter the year.
You're probably gonna have to cut that. That didn't really answer. That was the answer to the first question. I think that for me, my music taste has to do just a lot with like you, Mom, and Miles, especially like has a big influence on me. Like I feel like Miles is the first person who I listened to hip hop with, and because of you, I listen to a lot of jazz, which is a lot older than what people like. And just because you and Dad, you know, the music you grew up on, which is a lot the music that your parents grew up on, I think that's the reason. But like you guys still liked it, like Carpenters, Beach Boys, Beatles, all that kind of stuff. Like we all like that because we also grew up listening to it, so it gets passed down. And I'll say that as to the future, I always felt like growing up Miles was someone who could stay ahead of music and like knew what was going to be big next. That was kind of a hobby of his, so that kind of makes me want to be that way. I feel like Charlie and Louie are that way too.
I feel like I have lessened in my ability to pick out who's going to be new or big next.
You can't keep up with the kids.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and it's because I'm not as motivated, I guess. Like I said, I feel like when I was around your age was when I kind of just locked into like, okay, this is the music I like, and I'm just too lazy to find anything else lately. I wish I had more time for new music, and I do like a lot of the music that came out this year that's like big, like the summer kind of songs, but yeah, I feel like as I get older, I care less about that, I guess.
I know this video is going along really, really well, but at this point I just want to say that there's more to it than this, and if you'd like to watch the extended version, you can sign up for Nebula. Just $30 for the entire year. If you skip to the end of the video, you can see me talk about this more, but you can get so much more from me over on Nebula than you can here on YouTube. Okay, more on that soon.
How I feel.
Miles, name 3 Beach Boys songs you like.
Heroes and Villains is a really good one. When I was really little, I loved I Get Around. I had the CD of the Beach Boys' greatest hits, and I would always listen to that one. And then I like the Disney Girls song, but that's because of you, that you showed that to us. I probably would have never even listened to that one if not, but I still think that that's a really good one, too.
Hi, Char. Thanks for joining from Central Park, New York City.
Yeah.
Okay, my first question for you is, can you name me 5 Beach Boys songs?
And it's just any random 5?
Yeah.
Surfer Girl is my favorite, and I like Keep an Eye on Summer. I like Disney Girls, All I Want to Do, and Darling.
Wow, do you have a favorite Beach Boys album?
Lately I've been liking All Summer Long, but Summer Days is probably my favorite.
Ella, can you talk about your favorite Beatles album?
Yeah, I like Abbey Road a lot. It's just an iconic album for the weird stories that it tells, the funny ideas, and then the beautiful production. I like how complete it feels, like one big work, and I just grew up on those songs, so that's been my favorite for a long time.
I like Sarah a lot by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that one's so nice. What's exciting to you from the 60s and 70s? Okay.
I listened to a lot of Tom Waits, and I very recently found out that he grew up in Pomona, which is where we live. And so that's cool because a lot of his songs mention stuff from like the Inland Empire area, like Mount Baldy, or like streets in neighboring cities. And my favorite Tom Waits song is Kentucky Avenue, which is a street in Pomona, according to Miles. And that's where he grew up, and he talks about growing up there. So that's cool.
Like those Stephen Bishop songs, there's two of them that you know that I like. Well, one of them is On, and that's really nice. But then I like Careless a lot, and they're off the same album. And I just think that they're really good songs with really good ideas.
What makes a good idea for a song for you? Like what are you looking for?
Melody is always my favorite thing in a song. Is just something that is different and memorable.
Nice. Are there any good melodic composers now that you like?
I mean, I always like Lana Del Rey and her melodies. That's my favorite thing about her. And I like The Weeknd because he makes really catchy melodies every time that he puts out an album. Just things that stick in your head. So, yeah.
Is that kind of a mark of a good melody, would you say? If something sticks in your head?
It's a different kind of mark. Like, if something's catchy, like, I think there's something really nice about a solid pop song. That it's nice when something feels perfect, like it has everything it needs to be memorable in that way. Then there's something else to be said about songs that are just sound nice and sound beautiful, you know, like motifs that don't necessarily have to be a hit or anything, but songs that are like just nice to listen to.
I like that. It's a good way to put it. I feel like some of these artists that we're talking about, like Tom Waits especially, pushed boundaries. And I wonder what artists you think today are pushing boundaries and exciting you about what's coming in the coming years.
I like what Kendrick is doing. I think that the emotional topics he gets more and more towards every album are really changing hip-hop for the better, and I feel really honored to live at the same time as him. He's so smart. I also have a lot of fun listening to everything Doja Cat puts out lately.
Miles, what about in terms of production?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, I mean, and this is why I was uncomfortable about being in a YouTube video, because a lot of people might not like my opinion about 100 gecs, but I think that they are, they're pushing a lot of boundaries. I think it was Pitchfork that reviewed their first album that came out in 2019, and they said, like, you know, it's at this point in the 21st century, why not, like, put everything into a blender and see what comes out. Like, I kind of like the spontaneous, like, spastic production on their records. I mean, I think on their most recent record, they experimented a lot more with, like, turning punk and ska into hyperpop, which was really cool. But yeah, I like the the self-aware humor that comes with their music, because I think that it kind of reflects memes and, you know, like the self-aware humor that just dominates all aspects of the internet at this point. So I think that's probably why I think that they're pushing boundaries, but it's also just really fun to listen to. And I like music that can make me laugh without words, and I think that 100 gecs does that for sure.
I think Blade pushes boundaries. Yeah. And his new album was really good. And I'm glad that he's becoming more mainstream.
Think of a lyric that you like maybe if you had to write a motto in your yearbook or something, like some lyric that speaks deeply to you from the music that you've listened to. Can anybody think of anything?
I love this one from Hey Jira that says, I just think Joni Mitchell is like the greatest lyricist of all time, or at least one of them. But she said, I know no one's going to show me everything. We all come and go unknown. each so deep and superficial between the forceps and the stone. Yeah, it's just like, as a young woman, like her, like she captures it better than almost anybody, I think. And there's also all-time favorite Eagles. You can spend all your time making money. You can spend all your love making time.
If it all falls to pieces tomorrow, would you still be mine? You gotta finish it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you have to throw up the alley-oop.
This isn't like, I don't know, like I don't, like these aren't like incredibly important to me or anything, but a song that maybe my favorite song's lyrics are, it's weird because it's The Doors, and they've released, it's like a set of poetry that Jim Morrison wrote and like recorded that they have put over the top of multiple different like beats kind of that they've done. Like one is called like American Dream or something, but the version I like best is called Ghost Song. But it's I don't know, just a lot of the lyrics are really cool. Like he says like ghosts crowd the young child's fragile eggshell mind. We have assembled inside this ancient and insane theater to propagate our lust for life and flee the swarming wisdom of the streets. It's really cool writing. Like I don't even know what most of it means, but it just sounds really cool when he says it.
Elliot, will you talk about Jacob Collier? Do you want to?
I don't know if I have a lot to say about him.
Okay.
My mom asked if I could talk about Jacob Collier, her old friend from New York. Well, I just know he's a big fan of my mom. He just posted her on his Instagram again. I don't know. I study music in school right now. A lot of people are really excited about Jacob Collier and the stuff that he is doing. I think he's like the Mozart of our time. And I think he can be really thoughtful lyrically as well.
Did you forget Drake exists?
Anyways, yeah, I like his softer stuff that's more lyrical and his arrangements that don't go totally crazy, but there's also, you know, something to be said for pushing the limits like Miles was talking about, and I think he does that like differently than anybody else can.
And he makes good YouTube shorts too. I see him on YouTube shorts a lot.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know if he makes them, but he's in a lot of them.
Yeah, mostly I just watch Amy Nolte music shorts.
There's probably a few with her and Jacob Collier together because they're old friends.
Yeah, probably a lot.
Quick fire questions. Your favorite artist that comes to mind, or it doesn't have to be your favorite, like this isn't definitive, but from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like name a bunch of decades, your favorite musicians.
60s, I'll say Bob Dylan and Mama Cass Elliot.
Okay, I don't know who that was. I would say for 60s, Joni Mitchell and maybe like Leonard Cohen. I don't know if he's more 70s.
My favorite male artist from the 60s is probably Jim Croce, but he did a lot of stuff in the 70s too.
Do you have a favorite Jim Croce song lately?
I really like I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song.
That's a good one.
Paul Simon was making some good music in the 70s.
You can say like Carpenters for 70s, right? Yeah. Love her. And I don't know, maybe I'd say Beach Boys for my other one.
For women, I probably would say Dolly Parton. I like her stuff a lot because I listen to country music. I also like the country rock band, the Flying Burrito Brothers.
I like Bread a lot too.
Yeah, Bread. I listen to a lot of Bread.
I don't know, what's a Bread song?
I'd make it with you.
Oh, yeah.
If everything I own.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Aubrey.
Diary, or yeah.
80s now? Boingo made all their best music in the 80s, I think. I don't know, I don't listen to a lot of 80s music.
Yeah. I'm just looking, I I listen to Hall & Oates. A lot, they're really good for men. And then, I mean, like, Fleetwood Mac, like Stevie Nicks, probably for female artists of the 80s. Yeah. Oh, also Tom Petty.
Oh, we do like Tom Petty.
It's true. In the 90s, Radiohead. Yeah, OK Computer I can listen to just forever.
My favorite album came out at the end of the 90s, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
My favorite female artist is probably, I already mentioned her, but Fiona Apple. I listen to her a lot. And then, I mean, there's just a lot of really good rap that came out in the 90s. Like,
Do you like any artists that you have never told me about that I would be surprised to know that you like?
I mean, me and Ella love the song Seven Summers by Morgan Wallen, actually. And I'm not the biggest fan of Morgan Wallen, but I just think that it just has, is it like the 9 all over the song? Like that you said that the 9 makes the song or something?
I can't remember, but if I said it, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's really nice about it, and it just has nice lyrics and a nice chorus, and I was surprised that I like it so much, but I think anyone who listens to that would like it.
Cool.
Favorite artists from the 2000s? There's so many. I mean, I'm not going to talk about today, but Kanye West, I think, defined all of music in the 2000s. I don't think there was anyone more influential than him, for good reason. It was some of the best music.
Favorite artist from the 2000s? I love Regina Spektor. Still listen to a lot of her. And like Ben Folds too. Yeah, I kind of associate them together.
I was born in 2006, so my earliest memories of the 2000s, I still don't really have any. Yeah, I guess I said that that Outkast released their best stuff in the 2000s, and by that I mean that I think that Speakerbox / The Love Below is the best Outkast album, and especially The Love Below. It's a double album, so I think The Love Below is one of the best hip-hop records of all time.
You guys are giving so many good takes. I have a lot to think about from everything that you said. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this video and to let everybody know that the future of music is not doomed. Kids are smart. Young adults are smart. They're paying attention, and they know that the future is so bright. You gotta wear shades.
If your mom is
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Louder into the mic, son.
If your mom is Amy Nolte, I don't know about other kids.
If your mom is followed by Jacob Collier.
Okay. I think that it's kind of a trend these days to get down on music and on what's happening in popular music right now. But I hope that watching these kids of mine has given you a little bit of hope about what is to come. I've made a Spotify playlist of all of their favorites that I'll include in the link in the description. And there's like 53 of them, and I don't think I even put all of them in there. Again, if you'd like to see the extended version of this video, sign up for Nebula. Nebula is a place where I put all of the videos that I have on YouTube, but in extended bonus kind of versions. I also put extra videos on Nebula that you'll never see on YouTube. Videos that go deeper, videos that make you think. I also have 3 classes on Nebula that I think are just going to knock your socks off if you go over and watch them. Everything I know about chords, part 1. Everything I know about chords, part 2. And how to create beautiful motifs for your own soloing without relying on chords or arpeggios. You can also see my brand new show called Quarter Notes with Amy Nolte, where I interview amazing jazz piano players, maybe sometimes other musicians, we'll see. Larry Goldings was my first interview. Dennis Ham of Thundercat was my second interview. And there's another one dropping just in a few days that I can't tell you about quite yet, but you guys, it's good. $30 for an entire year gets you all of Nebula. So not only my stuff, but stuff from other creators as well. Nebula is also a place with no ads. No ads ever. I also put my videos there first, oftentimes a week before you'll even see them on YouTube. And you can watch other creators as well, creators that you know and love from YouTube already, like my friend Adam Neely, like my friend 12 Tone, like Charles Cornell. And Nebula is also producing great originals that are outside of music. So many categories of videos that are on Nebula. One of my favorites is the Nebula original series, Jet Lag, which is just a bunch of crazy people racing across different parts of the world, playing games, doing smart challenges, and making me laugh my butt off. If you've ever wanted to support me, this is the way to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.